Okay, here I am at the nurse's. No, you're not going to see anything at all. You're on this side of me, okay? The stitches are obviously on the other side, so don't worry. And if I squeal like a girl too much,
have you just taken the dressing off today? When did you take
I'm going to turn the video
came
off.
About 3 days ago. They took it off. In fact, maybe longer than that. They took it off in the hospital because they thought it looked like.
I don't think I need to recover it actually, but let's see what it looks like when it doesn't. Right, I'm just going to. This might pull a wee bit. I'll try not to get your hair.
It's like undoing a hem.
It is like undoing a hem actually.
Ouch!
Sorry.
It's a quick rip unpicker. Oh, for nurses.
It's not quite so quick actually, because what we have to do is like a running stitch.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Oh, yeah, running stitch that ties little knots at the end of each one.
Oh.
You want one of those little Benina unpickers.
That's what I was saying, they're called quick rip unpickers. Well, in the 70s they were.
Oh, that's right, you've got one.
I've got a couple.
You've got a couple, haven't you?
Yeah, a couple of them. Oh, I haven't been able to sew much while I've had this condition, obviously.
No. Do you like to sew a lot then?
Oh yeah, well, my first job, before I went to university and everything, got educated, was to, it was in the rag trade. I was yeah, I went to college as well and learned to, oh, that hurt.
Sorry.
It's all right, it's not your fault, is it, darling?
Keep talking to me.
Oh!
You learned pattern cutting, didn't you?
Yeah, I learnt pattern cutting and the whole thing. I was what they called a sample machinist.
Oh yeah.
In the like where they were making the samples for Marks and Spencers, and they made all the things, but they would get tried out. So they'd make like 1 or 2 pieces in a couple of different sizes and see how they looked. Well, I was the person who did the pattern for them and run them up. Run them up, made them.
So they could have a sample to see
how
it worked.
And you'd have to make them absolutely perfectly.
Understandably.
So you didn't have much, and of course you had a couple of times to make a hash of it if there was enough material. And sometimes they'd make it and ask you to make it up in different fabrics as well, sort of like different colours, different prints. Just choose what was going to go forward on the production line. And it was quite an interesting job, and at 16.
Yeah.
And I started off going to do BTEC fashion technician, which, an old mill that was a college now.
Yeah.
Then, in the 80s, and then I decided, once I'd done that, I sort of decided I didn't want to go to university and do fashion. I wanted to because people still looked at me and went, oh, dizzy blonde, Yeah. And I wanted to show that I had a brain. Ouch!
Sorry.
Had a brain. It's all right. I'm just keeping my mind off it.
Keep talking.
And so I swapped and didn't do creative stuff. I went to do proper A-levels,
All right.
Yeah, academic A-levels, and then surprised the hell out of myself by doing as well as I did, and ended up at Oxford University.
Oh, wow.
I know, it shocked the hell out of me.
What did you study there then?
Oh God, a right mixed bag I am. Because I didn't know what to do, so I chose something as broad as I possibly could.
Yeah.
And they said, well, look, with this job you can go forward and do anything. And it was politics, philosophy, and economics, and it was the same course as David Cameron and all those lot.
Really?
I was there when they were there. Yeah, I beat them on the rostrum on the debating stand, and the other side wanted me, like spotted me and wanted me to go forward as an MP, candidate for an MP. Only I wasn't. I knew there was something wrong even then, if you know what I mean. I kept getting ill.
Right, so you knew there was something
I knew there was something wrong. I didn't know what it was. And I said, actually, I don't think I could. I don't think I would cope with the stress. I don't think it'd be a good idea, because actually I think physically somewhere there's something wrong with me.
So you became a musician instead.
Well, eventually I did. Yeah, I did my degree, and then I did it. It became a strategic planner, which was as boring as anything for several years.
Right.
And project manager. The project manager bit was all right, but the strategic planning was, good God, it's like dying like death. In the future, and I could do it. You know, it was the sort of thing we'd done on economics in my degree, and.
How's it looking?
And
it's looking all right. I'll just interrupt you then. They're all out. Okay.
Oh, they're fabulous.
They're all
Oh,
out.
God, that was...
You've got a cello-shaped F.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that on
It's
the
just slightly
picture.
gaping. You can see there. So I'm going to get some steri strips and just stick them over. So like what we call
Good.
just stitches. They're not stitches.
I've got to say, I can sort of feel it feels different, the pressure in my head. Yeah. Oh, God, that was horrible, actually. Yeah, that was really awful. Oh, gosh, I needed to keep talking then. Oh, heck. So anyway, you've now got a bit of a rundown of my career as well, if you didn't know, people who were watching this. And that was when I then gave it up and became a musician, a professional musician.
On the advice of John Snow.
On the advice of John Snow,
Who was the
prince. He was he was the vice chancellor at the university I was working at the time.
Alec Brooks.
And I sat on the same table at a dinner with him, because I was doing the strategic plan, and we got talking, and he said, you know, if that's what you want, just give it up, just go and do it, because if you don't do it, you will regret it. And how right was he?
Well, music's big in his family, isn't it?
And music is big in his family. And so thank you, Mr. Snow. I really owe you. Okay. Oh my God. I don't think I could take making any more video. But anyway, thank you very much. I know I look like a complete rat bag. Didn't have to. Do you know what? My head hurts too much. Yeah, the Crufts I'm going to blame it on that. The Crufts antiseptic shampoo that I had to use yesterday.